The Citizens for Responsibility and Ethics in Washington crew has told The Guardian that they are investigating that dinner at Trump's club where more than 20 oil and gas company executives, where Trump said, give me $1 billion and I'll get rid of the regulations on oil and gas. This is, a naked attempt at soliciting a bribe. Sheldon Whitehouse says House Democrats have sent letters to the oil executives asking for their company, information about their company's participation. Sheldon Whitehouse, the Rhode Island Democratic senator who chairs the Senate Budget Committee, which has subpoena powers, is also considering an investigation. This would be a good one, I think. With regard to the debate, Donald Trump, this is what Joe Biden said this morning. He said, Donald Trump has lost 2 debates to me in 2020. Since then, he hasn't showed up for a debate. Now he's acting like he wants to debate me again. Well, make my day, pal. I'll even do it twice. So let's pick the dates, Donald. I hear you're free on Wednesdays. So, we'll see how this plays out. The Biden is saying, though, that, in the last debates, he's not saying this out loud, but in the last debates that Biden and Trump had, Trump constantly interrupted Biden, trying to throw him off his train of thought and trying to, just mess with his brain. And so what Biden is saying is, and also playing to his audience, right, playing to the crowd. And so what Biden is saying is, let's do this debate like the Nixon-Kennedy debate. There was no audience. And so it's just you and me. And the microphones are turned off when it's not your turn to speak. So your efforts to interrupt the other person won't work. CNN has pitched, and it's been accepted apparently, that they will do the first of these things on July 27th, June 27th, excuse me. I'm doing this from memory. Pretty sure, and September 10th are the 2 dates that they've come up with. I'm kind of ambivalent about it. I made the old joke earlier that, when this is sort of like wrestling with a pig. The pig enjoys it and you end up covered in mud. That said, Donald Trump is kind of progressively losing it, number one. Number two, he really doesn't have anything to defend. He has no legislative record. He built a little bit of wall, but he did that by taking money from GI housing. He's got really a pretty terrible record. Right now, what I find fascinating, and Mark Pocan was talking about this earlier in the program about this polling that he's seen, and that is that I've seen social media posts, and I'm guessing they're coming out of Russia, but they might be coming out of the RNC, saying things like, Donald Trump's infrastructure legislation is doing really well. We're getting a lot of repair work done on our freeways. And Donald Trump's legislation to raise wages is doing, basically taking anything that Joe Biden has done and giving the credit for that to Donald Trump. And, this is just the big lie strategy. This is what Hitler laid out, just and FDR famously quoted. Just tell a lie that's so big that people believe, hey, he wouldn't make that up. Come on, that's just too outrageous. So I'm kind of torn because that Trump is going to lie in the debate. And whether, they're still working out the ground rules. And I'm guessing that one of Trump's ground rules will be that you can't fact check the people making the statements. We'll have to wait and see, how this plays out. But I'm a little nervous on the one hand. And on the other hand, I think this might be a really good thing for Joe Biden. Everybody, for a while there, the New York Times was driving this hysteria for about a month about his age and whether he's getting, feeble and demented and stuff like that. And it turns out that was the owner of the New York Times is pissed off that Joe Biden hasn't done a one-on-one personal interview with him like Donald Trump did. And so he was punishing Biden by having the New York Times constantly report that he's old and losing it. But what we've seen over the last few weeks as Joe Biden has gotten out on the campaign trail and he's giving speeches, he's doing rallies, is that Joe Biden is not feeble. Yeah, he's old, but he's the peppiest 80-year-old I've ever seen. And he's completely with it. And Donald Trump seems to be, his aphasia is getting worse, where he just kind of mumbles things that don't make any sense. And I don't think he can fall back on lies any longer. So what do you think? I'll pick up your calls on the other side of the break. It's 27 minutes past the hour.